Howdy. So, didn't get down to the cabin this weekend. I had to work on my truck. Needed to do rear drums before the inspection is due on Monday. So I figured I better get it taken care of. And it's raining today, so not much I can take care of. But I want to do a quick video. This is a dividing head I picked up. I'm looking at being able to make gears on my jet mill. And this is a older there. LW chuck, which is no longer in business. And I'm going to be taking this apart, but not in this video. One of the things I liked about this setup was that it has the same threads as my South Bend lathe. So this chuck, which I don't have a 3-jaw chuck, is compatible. So I've already taken it apart, but I figured, some people might not know how they work, and I'll take it apart and show you how I cleaned it up. Like I said, I got this. It only came with one of the discs, but as luck would hold, someone else had an eBay auction for the other 2 discs, and only the other 2 discs that I needed. So now I have the 3 discs that are needed to make just about most gears. So like I said, we're going to be working on the chuck and taking it apart. So remove the I'm going to take it off the thing. When I got it, it was very grimy, like a lot of things. Okay, so I'm going to move this off to the side. Like I said, I'm going to take this apart in another video and clean the internals and all that jazz. Like I said, so here's the chuck. It has an integrated back plate, so everything's kind of one piece. Not one piece, 2 pieces, but it doesn't require a separate back plate to be put on. This is designed basically for a South Bend, which is great. And this is a union manufacturing out of Connecticut. It's not a particularly heavy chuck, and they weren't known for making pretty high-end chucks, but it'll work for now. And I know it's been taken apart in the past. There's someone put witness marks on the side, even though you really can't put this together any way other than correct, because there's only one chuck opening here. I'm going to open up the jaws all the way. Okay, now it's freewheeling, so I know it's open all the way. And I'll remove the jaws. And they're numbered, so 1 goes into 1 slot, 2 into 2 slot, or 3 into 3, and 2, which has been a little stiff, at least getting out. Once it's in, it's fine. It's just stiff getting in. And here's number 2. From here, you can see the scroll that integrates, and you can kind of figure out which jaw goes where is important, because it'll be in a different place if you put it in the wrong one. Also, if you're putting it together and you you have to start all 3 going in at the same time in order for it to work. So take the screws out. Like I said, I've had this apart. Three screws in the front. And you can't mess the front and the back screws up because they're different lengths. Now, I have no idea how old this chuck is. It's a very simple chuck. because the back plate's integrated into the unit. Not a lot to mess up. I do have a 4-jaw chuck too, and I'll be taking that one apart sooner or later as well. And then separate the 2 halves, which seeing they have a nice light coat of oil on everything makes it a little bit more challenging. Got an opening there. Right. Go to a rubber mallet. I got a little bit of an opening there, so working my way around, being careful not to do too much. I don't want to leave a burr so it doesn't sit back nice. It's just about there. There it goes. On the bottom, on the backing plate, there's one gear that comes out on this one. And I excessively lubricated this because it's getting to be fall and my shop is in the garage. In the spring I'll take it back apart and clean it again. On the front you can see the back of the scroll, which is right here, which you can get out. Make sure it's underneath it. I'm going to find a blunt object. It's not metal. So. Okay, now it's apart. Like I said, I cleaned this up already. It was covered in a lot of oil or a lot of grease. You can see the scroll in the back. It engages with the teeth. and as it turns, it pulls them in. On the back, that gear spins it around. So basically what you have is a big gear on the front. But like I said, when I cleaned this up, or when I got it, it was covered in 30 years of grease or so. There was brass shavings and metal shavings all inside, and that's what you do want to take these apart periodically, because they're not sealed units. They're open on the top, so you need to remove those shavings if you want it to last. And then when you're done, give them a light coat of oil. Like I said, I used a bit more than you normally put on, because it's fall, my shop is in the garage. They go back together just like they came off, and see a tiny bit of schmutz. So it's back in the top, putting it in the right orientation, which is a scroll down. You only have it square when it spins nice. Like I said, a little bit of oil on the bottom, on the surface down there. These cavities here, I put a lot of oil because there was actually some rust in these cavities. The only place there was any rust was inside there, so I put quite a bit of oil in there. And cleaned everything else up. Cleaned the end of the pocket that this gear rides in, and then added oil into that pocket. And then also polished up the surface it rides on. And put it back together. Like I said, the fit on these things is tight, so it does make assembly and disassembly a bit challenging. Like I said, you can't put this one together wrong, because there's only one way to put this. Oh, there's only one way to orient this. And if you get cocked like I just did, then it becomes a pain. There we go. So line up the two openings. You might have to adjust or move the scroll so that the gears will mesh up. There we go. Make sure everything still turns. Now screw it back together. Short screws go on the back on this one. Usually I'll bring them all down, not quite snug. Flip it, put the front ones in, and then bring them all home at the end. This is a nice one to demo on because it's not very heavy. My 4-jaw chuck weighs twice as much as this one does. And if you have a big lathe, those chucks come with eye hooks so that you can bring them in with a hoist. Okay, so bring them home. I also picked up a plate and a dog for the lathe, so I can work between centers. I probably won't use it right now, but the price was good and it was local. Okay, so 1 goes into 1. 3 goes into 3. 2 goes into 2, and like I said, 2's always been a little bit tight. Okay. Then when you're tightening these up, kind of got to provide a little bit of pressure so that they feed, or just knock it every little bit to keep it so they catch the scroll. So they all start feeding. Bring them all the way to the center so you know that you have them all lined up. Oops. See, look at that. That's why I always bring in the center, because look, I messed up. One wasn't another way. Bring them all back out. And you gotta turn this thing 1,000 times in order to get it to move, or all the way out. And that's better. So now I know I'm ready to work. These jaws flip around backwards. But like I said, for the price for the whole thing with the chuck was $250, which I figure wasn't bad, because a 3-jaw chuck will set you back $50 to $100. You know, this isn't a high-end chuck, so closer to the 50 point. So $200 for a dividing head wasn't half bad. And yeah, I just need to get some cutters for it. Like I said, I'll do another video later on taking apart this particular dividing head. And this is a smaller of the two because I only have a tabletop lathe. So if you like this type of stuff, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to add some different things to my channel, as my my cabin videos are less frequent because most of the major projects are done, at least for now, until you come up with another major project. But I'm gonna keep on doing these types of videos for a while until unless I hear otherwise from people who don't want to watch them. Until next time, thanks for watching.